We are live and it's great to Periscope with you today. Still not on the most fun topic, but I'm here, so I'm glad to be here with you guys. And thank you for watching the replay. Really, I'm so grateful for everyone watching the replay. And the cool thing is now as you watch the replay, you can actually scoot to the back a little bit or scoot to the front. You can swipe a little bit to the right or to the left by touching your screen. Just scrub, and that'll help you be able to fast forward or rewind as you need to. So I've been talking about abusive relationships and want to continue that today and tomorrow. Thank you for joining. Thank you for the hearts. So not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but watch out for addictions. Watch out for addictions. Proverbs warns us, and y'all, I got my Bible out today, so I'll introduce myself, Trina Titus Lozano, and I'm a counselor and an ordained Christian minister. My favorite topic is marriage and family and healthy relationships. Hi, Billy. Hi, Megan. Hi, all of you that are joining right now. Cecily. So healthy relationships, emotional health. So I'm all about your health. And I want your spiritual health, your emotional health, your relational health, all there to be right up there. I want you guys to have a very high EQ, a very high emotional intelligence. And there's a few things that are warning signs. So we need to really take heed to the warning that Proverbs gives us. So today, I want to read a little bit from Proverbs chapter 23. And here are the verses that I'm going to start at verse 29, okay? So see if this sounds like you or somebody that you're married to or somebody that you're very close to, and then we'll see what we can do about it. So we want to keep an eye on this checklist and see what you can do to be sure that you're going to stay away from trouble. So here's some warning signs, okay? Who has anguish? Who has sorrow? Who is depressed? Who is always fighting? Who is always complaining? Who has unnecessary bruises? Who has bloodshot eyes? It is the one who drinks too much. It is the one who spends long hours in the taverns. It is the one who tries out new drinks and drinks too heavily. Don't gaze at the wine, seeking how red it is, how it sparkles in the cup, and how smoothly it goes down. For in the end, it bites. It bites like a poisonous snake, and it stings like a viper. You will see hallucinations. You will say crazy things. You will stagger like a sailor tossed at sea, clinging to a swaying mast. And you will say, they hit me, but I didn't feel it. I didn't even know when they beat me up. For when I wake up, I will just look for another drink. Okay, you guys, Proverbs warns us about this. Now, it has become very popular, like it has been for a long time, but I'm seeing this a lot with clients in my office, even people that are good people, that are well-meaning people, that are would consider themselves, a Christian, would consider themselves a really good, responsible person, but they are overly friendly with alcohol. They drink wine daily. They drink beer daily. Y'all, and they do it to comfort themselves. They do it to calm down, not as a celebration, but it has become an addiction and people don't even realize it. And I'm talking about good people that don't even realize it. So here are some warning signs. If you or a person that you're married to or a person that you're very close to is drinking too much, don't be afraid to confront them and say, look, here's what I see, and it is not in your best interest, because in the end, it'll bite like a snake. Now, if you were standing there and you saw someone about to get bitten by a snake, what would you do? Would you be too embarrassed to say something? Or would you say, watch out, there's a snake, it's gonna bite you, it's poisonous? You would do that, even though it might startle him, right, Kendall? It might startle him, and it might be upsetting to them. But you would warn them. You would do something to help them. Yeah, you would yell. You would say, "Watch out! This is dangerous." So I'm doing that with y'all today. I'm saying, "Watch out! This is dangerous." Too much alcohol, daily drinking is dangerous. Drinking on occasion for a celebration, for a special occasion, for a date night. But I highly recommend, really, like the Bible says, I highly recommend being very, 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 very cautious with alcohol. It should be rare. It should be special. It should be saved only for a special celebration, like Jesus did at the wedding at Canaan when he performed his very first miracle by turning the water into wine. It was a special occasion. It was a celebration. And you know what? Those types of occasions, we can rejoice in the goodness that God has done, and we can celebrate. But not daily. The Bible warns about it, and I'm warning y'all about it. Here's a checklist. If you or your loved one may have a chemical dependency, these are some things that you're going to want to ask yourself, okay? So, do you ever attempt to conceal your habits from others? Would you be embarrassed if people knew how often you drink? Would you be embarrassed about that? So, do you hide that? Do you ever think about maybe you might have a problem? Do you ever think about getting help? Do you have problems at the place of your employment because of your habit? Do you ever experience a loss of memory? Do you ever stagger? Do you ever get so drunk that you pass out or you forget things? Do you often become severely intoxicated? Have you ever become severely intoxicated? If so, how many times a month? How many times a year? How often does that happen? Write it down so you can see, is it a problem? And if it's a problem, y'all, just get help. It's okay. Go see a counselor. It can be solved. It can be fixed. You can learn how to cope differently than by drinking too much. I like what our pastor Robert said last Sunday. A little sin grows up to be a grown-up sin and a big sin. And just like Proverbs says right there, it's going to bite in the end. It's going to destroy you. Oh, thanks for all the purple hearts, whoever's given those. Do you ever feel like it's affecting your relationships? Is your spouse or your good friends or your parents or anybody saying that you have a problem? Because if they are saying that to you, then you do have a problem. You need to listen to them and don't hold on so tightly to that alcohol. Let go. Surrender it. And if it's not a problem, you can celebrate on New Year's Eve with a glass of champagne. But if it becomes if it is such a problem that you are so defensive about it and that you are holding on very, very, very tightly. Oh, hi, my love. If you are holding on very tightly to the alcohol, too tightly that you're unwilling to let it go completely, I would say, be abstinent for a period of time and see how that makes you feel. Because if you're holding on too tightly, that's a sign of it being a problem. I also want to say, if you have children, young children especially, but if you have any children at all, they are watching your example, and it's so important to be a good example to them, especially in regards to alcohol consumption, okay? So it's really important that you have a healthy attitude about it and that you have a realistic understanding of the destructive nature that it can become, okay? And that it quite often does become that. So you want to be a good example. Listen, you never, ever, ever want to get in the habit of drinking after your kids to go to bed on a regular basis, okay? Because what happens is your kids could wake up in the middle of the night and you've accidentally drank too much. You've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a whole bottle of wine, and your kids need you, and you've had too much to drink and you are passed out. That's not okay. You know that you wouldn't intentionally to do that, but what happens is you'll do it unintentionally and it will happen. It will happen. It's the path that you're on. I also want to tell you and make a warning, just like Proverbs does here in chapter 29. Also want to tell you that, you guys, it's just not worth it. It really isn't. But just humble yourself, admit that there's a problem. Don't be afraid to give it up. Also, if you are on any antidepressants, you must be 100% absolutely abstinent of alcohol. 100% if you're on any antidepressant medication, because the antidepressant medication mixed with any alcohol is a recipe for suicidal thoughts, okay? Very dangerous. Many people tragically commit suicide because it is a side effect. of an antidepressant mixed with alcohol. It's a side effect, it's a chemical reaction, and you will become suicidal. Those are the warnings that I have for you today. I'm going to close on this topic later tonight about addictions and warning signs. If you need help, just admit it. Get the help that you need. Don't hold on too tight, because in the end, too much alcohol will become very destructive. Just like the Bible says, it'll bite you and it'll become poisonous to you. So God bless you today, and thank you for tuning in on a tough topic, but I hope that you take seriously these warning signs. Save your alcohol only for a special occasion. God bless you guys. Thanks, Billy and Cecily. Oh, I love you guys. Bye-bye.